Hi, it's Lucy, and today we're going to do a knitting and crochet video. I wanted to share with you all my works in progress bin, everything I'm working on, both knitting and crochet. I did do a knitting and crochet podcast on my other channel last year. I intended to do more of them, but I decided, first of all, that knitting and crochet fits more over here in this channel. And second of all, I can't actually knit and crochet that much, so I don't have a lot of finished works. I don't knit or crochet at a speed that would warrant like multiple videos a month or even every 2 months or 3 months. But yeah, I wanted to share what I'm working on. Some of these you might recognize from the last knitting video. Basically, without getting too much into it, like I have like hand issues, so it stops me from being able to like knit and crochet like as much as like these knitting podcasters and crochet YouTubers and stuff. So I have to take like a lot of breaks, and like I can't do it every day, which is why I end up with so many works in progress, because there's still things I want to make. And if it takes me longer, if it takes me a year, so be it. I did want to share like the things that I have finished. Since the last video, I finished 3 things. They're all crochet. We'll go in order because there's kind of a storyline here. The first thing that I finished last year is this crop top. I felt like these were really I mean, they're still pretty popular, but there was like a lot of popularity for these like halter tops. I wanted one that was a little more modest, I guess. This is Lily and Cream cotton yarn. I don't remember the exact color, but it's yellow. And yeah, kind of hard to show. There's like scalloped edging. I loosely followed Passionate Kelsey's like tutorial just to know where to increase on the edge. Things I learned while making this. I feel like the popular thing to do with these like halter top things, to make the strap that goes around your neck long enough to like lace up in the back. I don't like that. I felt like it would be really hard to like actually lace it up, like tie it around my neck and then lace it up in the back. So I made a separate string that I could lace up in the back. And I feel like it worked pretty well. I don't really have a lot of occasions to wear this because I don't really wear crop tops anymore. I did wear it once to the beach. I did originally make it for a beach trip, but I ended up making it during the beach trip, and then I wore it to the next beach trip. I'm also just gonna point out the mistakes I made, because why not? So the mistake I made, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but basically I messed up the ribbing about like 3/4 of the way through. To make a ribbed effect in crochet, you end up crocheting into just the back loop for every row. At some point, well, at this point exactly, I think I must have turned around my work and started crocheting into what ended up being the front loop, but it looked like the back loop to me because I ended up turning it around. And I really didn't notice until I was like 2 or 3 rows from being done. So I didn't want to go back, so I just left it. I feel like you only notice if I tell you, or maybe you do notice, but who's gonna tell on me? I don't wear this that much. I'm probably only gonna wear it to the beach or something like that. So it's fine. The next thing that I made, I'm also realizing almost everything will be made with Lily Sugar and Cream yarn. It's not really my favorite yarn, but it's like good for like beach wear because it's cotton and it's cheap, and it's good for a bag because it's cotton and it's cheap. This is one of those granny square bags where if you basically lay it out in a certain pattern, you end up with a bag that looks like this. I think this is like a sunflower granny square pattern. I ended up sharing in like a couple of vlogs on my other channel, I think, me doing this or starting this. I did like a special, I think it's like front post single crochet or front post double crochet or something to make the straps a little thicker. Yeah, I think I crocheted together the squares, the individual squares. I like the effect it gives. And I ended up making this because I had all that yellow yarn left over from the tank top. So I was like, oh, how can I use this? And I was like, oh, I can make a bag. But I didn't want a fully yellow bag, so I ended up buying this cream, it's technically ecru colored yarn, which is the color of linen. Don't know what I was saying. I had to stop to feed my cats because they were going crazy. The 2 center colors are both Hobby Friends cotton yarn. I think like 7/8 or 3/8, I don't know. Is it DK weight yarn or something? Like weight 3 yarn, I think. And so I made this bag. I really like it. I didn't line it, but I think I'm going to line it because I have lost something through the hole, something really important, really expensive. But basically I lost one of my knitting needles, which sucks. I have the Chow Glue circular set, so like they're pretty expensive. Like I can buy a new set basically. It's just really annoying because I lost only one needle. It unscrewed, which isn't great. We'll talk about that when I get to the project that the needle was used for. So I bought this ecru colored yarn, and I ended up buying 2 more balls to finish it because I wasn't sure how much I would need, and because of that I had leftover ecru yarn. So obviously I made another project. Realize it's inside out right now. So this is the Lily Sugar and Cream ecru colored yarn, along with Lion brand, oh, what is this? The Kobu yarn, which is cotton and bamboo. I think 50-50. It's like a really silky yarn, and I use that for like the color accents. This is a like hexagon granny square cardigan. Honestly, this is my most impressive project to date. This is like the first one that I can actually wear like regularly, although I realized kind of halfway through knitting it, like what are the occasions I have to wear, because there are like a lot of holes in it. So it needs to be like a pretty warm day for me to wear it, because if it's colder outside, it's not gonna keep me warm. But also, if it's a warm day, I don't really need a sweater, especially like a half sleeve sweater, but whatever. It's more wearable than the crop top. Mistakes I made on this, at some point when I was measuring, I realized that one of the squares is bigger than the other. They are both hexagons, but somehow I missed a round. I realized after I had done the colored stripe. So I would have had to go all the way back down. How do I explain how I missed around? Because when I just say I missed around, it sounds like, oh, like I could just go back. Maybe I was wrong this whole time. It sounds like, oh, I could just rip back after the colored stripe and then just add another round. But for some reason, I thought it was more complicated than that. Maybe I was wrong. Yeah, okay, I'm remembering the issue now. I didn't realize until I had both halves done, so I would have had to rip out like a lot, I guess. I don't know. I feel like I should have gone back. I think for some reason I thought I would have to go all the way. I would have to start over, but maybe I wouldn't have. But regardless, you don't know which side it is. Most people don't. The second mistake that I made was I forgot which side was right and which side was left. So to make this, I wanted to leave some space for my neck here. So I wanted to make the back like more rows than the front, but I didn't really think about how one side the back is going to be on the left and one side the back is going to be on the right. So I ended up doing, it was supposed to be 3 rows on the back and 2 rows on the front. I ended up doing the 3 rows on this, both on the like left side basically of each half. So I had to increase one side so that they could be sewn together. And then because of that, I ended up with one side that already had 3 rows, because that was what was supposed to be the back ended up being the front, and then one side with 2 rows, which I like obviously didn't realize until both sides were done. Sorry, this is 3 rows, the other side is 4 rows. I don't know math. I did try to like add on the extra row, but I just felt like it looked really different, and I felt like it's not that noticeable when I'm wearing it, but I thought the extra row was more noticeable because it's not attached to anything, and also it's like a different ball of yarn at that point. So I think maybe the color matching was a little bit off, like not super off, but off enough. I don't know what it was. I just felt like it looked like I had attached it as an afterthought, and I didn't like that. I like that less than one side being uneven than the other. So that's that. So those are the 3 projects that I finished in the past year or so. I actually just finished the cardigan today. So now we'll get into like all my current projects. These are both knitting and crochet. Let's actually go to the knitting projects first. Well, I'll go back and forth, but we'll start with a knitting project. So the first project I will share with you all is, this is a My Little Secret crop. I know I just did a whole thing about how I don't really wear crop top. This is a pattern by Jessie May. I think she's pretty well known. The yarn I'm using is a indie dyed yarn from Cattails, and the colorway is called Javanese. I got this yarn when I was in New Orleans in 2022, and this is like 50-50 wool silk blend, and I wasn't sure what to do with it. I got 2 hanks. I decided a My Little Secret crop would like fit, and I'm trying to make it a little longer than a crop, or like longer than at least is shown in the sample. I would prefer it to hit my waist, we'll see. But my plan was to have the body ribbing be all the first hank basically, and then we'll see first of all how long this ends up being on me. I do have like not that much left, and then we'll see about like the second half of the crop top. So yeah, I've been working on this since like March of last year. That's when I first started to like have the hand pain that I've been having. Also, I've been to multiple doctors about it, so nobody knows what's wrong with me. So that's why it's like taken so long. Also, I feel like ribbing is pretty slow for me. Okay, the next project I have is like a sliver of a project. This is supposed to be a cardigan. This is the back panel, and that's it. This is the crochet project I work on the least. I don't know, it's just not super interesting to me. I was like really into it like when I bought the pattern. This is, well, I didn't tell you what it was. This is the Cumulus cardigan by TWRL made on Instagram. This is like the first crochet pattern I bought. I'm like way newer to crochet than knitting. I didn't really know how to do the ribbing, and I thought it looked really cool, so I ended up buying the pattern. But yeah, single crochet in the back loop over and over and over and over, and then sometimes doing slip stitch in the back loop over and over and over. It's like kind of boring, and I know that this project is gonna like take a while, so it doesn't like encourage me to work on it. And I'm also afraid that I made it too short, but I don't know, we won't find out until I finish it, I guess, whenever that will be. Oh, and the yarn is Hobie Friends cotton. I think this is also the weight 3 cotton. Another knitting project. This is another cardigan, but this is a cardigan I'm way more excited about. This is the Lillian cardigan by Two of Wands. This is a free pattern on her website. This I'm currently working on is one of the sleeves. I'm pretty far into this actually. This is the, oh gosh, this is one of the front panels. So this is like knit bottom up in pieces. This is another sleeve. This is like a finished sleeve. So I'm knitting the second sleeve currently. And then I also have the back panel done. I don't know what I did with it. And then this is the back panel, which I feel like looks the most impressive. So this is the left. I'm not exactly sure how they go together. I think it's connected by the sleeves somehow. But yeah, so all I have left is to finish that sleeve and then the left front panel, and then it does have pockets. I'm not sure if I'm gonna add them or not, but then I'll do the pockets at the end. Okay, next we have a crochet work in progress again. This is the mosaic bookcase pattern, and this is really cool. I'm like kind of obsessed with it. This is like the crochet pattern I've been working on the most. I started this year actually. Oh, by the way, I started that black cardigan like in December or November 2022. So yeah, it's a long time coming. Hopefully I'll finish it by the summer, which it will actually be useful because I'm going to Scotland/Dublin where it'll be a little cooler. But yeah, back to this. It's gonna be a blanket that looks like a bookcase and I'm really excited about it. You can already kind of see the books forming. And this is also really cool because just the way it's done, it's called mosaic crochet, which I'm learning about for the first time, which basically for this kind of mosaic crochet, you're basically crocheting kind of stripes, like every row. I'll show you the back. Every row is one color and then you switch to the next color for the next row. And then you do like a double or single crochet depending on what you want the front to look like. So like here is a double crochet to cover up like the blue from the last row. So this is really fun for me, even though it is all like single and double crochets. This is definitely gonna take me a long time. I think I calculated, it takes me like 15 minutes to do half a row. I did calculate the number of hours, but I forgot. But I basically calculated like if I did 2 rows every day, I would be done in 3 months. But that's also something I can't do. I was being a little overzealous with that. So we'll see if this is done maybe by next year. But yeah, I'm really excited for it to be done. This yarn is the Schitt's Creek yarn from Lion Brand. They had a really good Black Friday sale. It was $12 for 6 balls. So I bought a lot of balls. And they're really big too. I didn't intend to buy this yarn for this pattern. I was looking for something to make with all the yarn I bought and I found that, and that seemed like a good decision for me. If you watched my like last knitting podcast on my other channel, you will recognize these granny squares. They're the same ones. I have made a couple more, not too many more. I kind of lost my excitement for them. I have 13 of these here. I'm not sure what I will do with them because I also was like, I don't know if I really want a granny square cardigan anymore. That's what I was originally making. And then I was like, maybe I should be making a blanket. So yeah, I'm still thinking about it. So I haven't really made any more squares. I know there are lots of like granny square patterns. I could use this for like lots of things. I'm not sure if I should just keep going and just make the granny square cardigan. And yeah, I'm not sure. But I have these squares. I feel like I have a couple more, but I don't know where they are. This is the Loops and Threads Soft and Shiny, and I don't know what colors these are. White, purple, and blue. Or maybe it's like cream. I'm not sure. The last crochet project I have is this what will be a beach cover up. This is in the Lion Brand Kobu yarn. I'm following a pattern from a video. The creator is like Bjax or created by Bjax or something like that. I will have her link down below. But yeah, I like did some modifications. Hers is like tied up in the front and I didn't want to do that. So I just like made, this is really a circle neck. I was gonna say V-neck, but it's not. I just closed it up. I think in her pattern, you do like the front like separately for a little bit and then connect it. So I just connected mine a lot sooner than she connected hers. I'm following her instructions for doing the rest in the round, basically. This was also supposed to be for my trip over the summer, but then I didn't finish it. I got distracted with the bag actually. So this might be good for this summer. I'm not actually planning to go to the beach this summer, but it might be good. I can't really think of anywhere else I would wear it because it's full of holes. The last knitting project I have to share with you all, you might also recognize from my last knitting podcast. And this is a scarf. The pattern is called the River Wild Quivic scarf. The yarn is yarn I got in Italy in 2022 and it's like really soft. It's called Sacia Imperial. I wish you could touch it. It's 50% merino wool, 20% cashmere, and then 30% silk. So it just feels like so soft, so warm, so nice. I am in love with it. It has been a while since I took this out because this definitely requires the most concentration. It is a lace pattern and technically it is something you can memorize, but like I said, I haven't touched it in a while, so I really haven't memorized it. I'm knitting this double. I bought 3 balls of that yarn and I just figured it would be enough, and so far it is. And it's coming along. more than I thought. For some reason, I didn't realize exactly how far I had gotten in this because I was thinking about unraveling this so then I could use one strand for a different scarf. I am way farther than I thought. Like, at least, I don't know, maybe this is like a third. It could be like half, maybe, if I don't want it to be that long. But yeah, way more than I realized. So I won't be unraveling this. I will finish it. If there's any left, I might incorporate it into the other scarf I'm thinking about. But yeah, so that's the last project I have to share with you all. I know other people are like evaluating their whips. I don't really want to, the only thing I'm evaluating are these granny squares. The rest of them I do eventually want to finish. Will it be this year? I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to share with everyone what I was working on. I also kind of wanted to do like a yarn haul, not quite a yarn haul, but like projects on my radar, I guess, or like my knitting plans, I guess, even though they're pretty far in the future. But I bought like a ton of yarn, even though I can't knit and crochet that fast, but it's so hard, you know, and I try to buy yarn with a project in mind. So I want to like show you guys the yarn and then like tell you guys about the project that I'm thinking about using for it. So let me know if you'd be interested in that. Thank you so much for watching. In the comments down below, let me know if you are a knitter or a crafter of any kind and what you've been working on. And also leave me a yarn ball emoji in the comments down below, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.